So for some, it's very natural to have friendships. Like even my sister, she always had friendships. She still was connected to the girls that she got to know when she was in kindergarten and middle school and all those grades. For me, it was a lot harder. It wasn't something that was natural to me, but I always had that longing. Um, and I think now, because I do have beautiful friendships now, what really changed was that I kept showing up, that I started to distinguish, what is friendship, what is not, constantly just being open to be vulnerable and to do scary things. And what I mean with scary things is when I moved from the Netherlands here, and I specifically am referring to this community where I live now. I heard about this group, this groove dance group that gathers every Tuesday morning to dance. And even though it was frightening, not just because, it's on a beach, public, anybody can see us, and the fact that, dancing itself can be frightening. It was also frightening because I didn't know anybody. And, girls can be mean, and I knew that some of the women that go there, they've been living here for a longer time, they really are tight, and it was just a scary thing to do, but I still went and did it anyway. And I even had, like, as I was living here for a longer time, I even had other moms that I got to know who never ended up going because of that, or they did show up, but they never danced because it was so scary. So I really know from that experience, like, no, it's really, it takes some bravery to show up. Um, the reason I share this is because today was the first day that I attended a groove dance in the new year. And for me to do that, I don't even have to think about those restrictions that I had when I started, it's joy, it's free expression. Like, I got so much out of it. I got very close, good friendships out of it because it's a gathering. So you do meet people. But at the same time, it was just in general a beautiful way to connect with women in general, to feel that sisterhood without talking. Because when you dance, you're not talking. It's one of the rules on the dance floor. And I built a lot of acquaintances, like a lot of beautiful acquaintances that not everybody has to be a close friend, but it just felt like very safe and it feels so respectful. And I'm so grateful that I not only showed up, but I continuously showed up. Um, Yesterday, I shared an episode about something that happened with three different friendships. It wasn't really what happened, but it was more like there was some unease in me that I felt like I needed to express. And that too is a part of continuously showing up, and knowing who to invest in and who not, and to continuously build that connection. The interesting thing is when I was done with that specific episode, one of the friends who I hadn't heard from ever since, we had that initial contact, in that time, like literally in that time, I just posted it, sent me a message, and left some hearts on the last message that I sent to her. And I knew, okay, it's all good. I knew it was going to be okay, but it was just interesting how the timing of it all worked. And for me, because one of the ladies who saw the episode yesterday was like, this is exactly why I don't have female friendships and I only stick with my husband and my sister and my family, And I'm like, yeah, I understand you. And at the same time, I really, really wanted that friendship, like I always had that longing of belonging. And that meant for me to keep on showing up. And I had crazy experiences with girls, with women. I think we all have those stories. I just didn't believe that that was going to be the narrative. I just didn't believe that that was the only thing that could be reality, And I'm so grateful that I kept showing up. And especially when I moved to this community, I was very intentional about this because, when I said goodbye in the Netherlands, the only people I said goodbye to were my family members and an old university friend that I had, and that was it, and maybe a girl that I just got to know in that year. No, not even. I met her the year after. No, so yeah, and that's kind of sad, like if you think about how a lot of people they have these goodbye parties and they have like I don't know how many people that they wanted to say goodbye to. And I'm like, no, it's just my family. And I don't want to say it was confronting, but it was my reality. It was my reality of just not feeling like I ever really belonged and really open with the idea of, okay, I'm really open to meet people here. When I moved to Amsterdam, because I always was in the neighborhood of The Hague, which is a different city. It's in the same, like, kind of state, like province, we call it. But when I moved to Amsterdam, it was also a new start. But I was also working full time, and I was becoming a mom. And so even in the mom areas, like, doing stuff with the baby, and um, I was never really able to connect with people, not on the workforce, only with guys, but not really with girls. And so even back then, I really did not meet people that I would hang out with on a personal level. And so when I moved to Mexico, I don't know if it was me literally going to a place where it was easier to find more like-minded people. It could be. And honestly, we do have a lot more in common, to be honest, like people that think more out of the box and people that, create their own lifestyle and raise their kids very intentionally and all of that. So maybe that could be it. But it was also because this time around, I was like, yeah, I really want to make this a home, and I really, you know, love the idea of having more friendships. I haven't even mentioned the fact that when I initially moved to Mexico, I started in Playa, and the first month I bought this apartment, and in while we were at the pool, my son and I met my now best friend. I didn't know obviously that would grow into such a strong connection. But yeah, we had so much in common. It was like crazy. From the age to, the fact that we both moved in the same time and left everything behind, etc., etc. But then C ended up going back to Norway, and a few times he came back for a few months, but C's not here full time. But even though C's not here full time, our friendship is so solid that we have continuous contact. Time is not a barrier. Like in Norway right now, it's like 6 hours ahead of us. Um, and yeah, I really, really am so grateful and happy that I kept on showing up for friendships, kept on trying and being vulnerable, and with every disappointment, learn from it, but not letting it stop me from that desire. Because one of the most beautiful things, honestly, is having girlfriends. Um, Another thing I want to mention is I was that girl that had more male friends. And what I noticed in that time was how they kind of always wanted more out of that friendship than what I was willing to give. And so they got friend zoned. And in the back of my mind, I kind of always knew that. Like I always kind of knew, like, I think you like me more than just a friend. And sometimes that would come up eventually, and that would always kind of mean the end of our friendship. So that's why I also don't have no friends. And that's one of the other reasons why I really crave for girlfriends, just because I'm like, well, at least they're not gonna hit on me. At least there's not a hidden agenda. But yeah, I think above all, and I do really believe that, showing up for growth and dancing really made a difference, and being courageous enough to do that. But at the same time, I was thinking, back in the days in Holland, I would also go through One Fit. I would go through all kinds of different classes in town. Like in Amsterdam, I would go to yoga classes and Pilates and whatever not they had to offer. And always open to meet people. I just never really found the types that I felt like, connected with me. And so maybe I really had to move all the way here to really find my little tribe, my soul people. I don't know. But what I do know is that my heart is fulfilled having those beautiful friendships and having those beautiful connections in general. Um, like going to the beach today and seeing all those beautiful happy smiley faces, and like I said, not everybody is a best friend. Like a lot of them are just acquaintances, but it's heartwarming, honestly, to live in a community, to sometimes run into people and really feel that wholesomeness instead of the mean girl energy, um, or not safe. And yeah, I was thinking, is it the dance or is it just the bravery of continuously showing up and going for that desire of, that friendship is out there and now I have multiple ones. Anyway, this was a very short episode about that. I am going to, because I took my camera with me. I made some videos. I'm gonna show you guys a little bit of what it looked like. Um, or maybe I'm just gonna edit it in this whole clip. I'm not sure yet, but you will find out. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.